Hi, ladies and dudes, and welcome back for my part 2 event of my anime review of Basilisk. And now, ladies and dudes, let's head on to my 4 most favorite characters that I really do care about in this anime. And I'm going to do 2 characters each from both Kouga and Iga. So, let's go on to the Igas first. I'm going to think about only 2 good women. The 2 best women characters I really do care about in this anime. So, the first character I want to talk about is Akaginu, played by this Jennifer lady. I don't know her last name, but to tell you the truth is I really do love this Iga lady. She's one of the best characters I have ever seen in anime history. She's very pretty, she's very darn lovely, and I like some of the character development and chemistry that she had a few with the Iga characters, even for that young kid named Koshiro. Yeah, I feel bad for Koshiro for losing his eyes, if you remember episode 9. Oh, well, anyway, back to Akaginu. She's fun, she's caring, she's a kind, sweet lady, but sometimes she's very deadly and tough, and I do like the part that she did in episode 4 where she used her bloody technique that's coming out of her body and transformed the whole entire area into a red fog so she could get a chance to try to strike down her opponent, and that was pretty darn cool. And I will say the best part about her is I like the character development chemistry that she had with Oboro Dono. They're kind of like sisters, but also a mother and daughter figure at the same time. And they did get along so well, and I do praise Akaginu for taking care of Oboro while she was blind for a little while, since Oborodona did seal her eyes because she doesn't want to attack Inosuke-sama for her own reasons. I can understand where she is coming from. And I really do wish that Akaginu should have won that battle between her and Kagero. After all, Akaginu is a lot more prettier than Kagero is, if you know what I mean. So yeah, Akaginu, good character overall. And the second character I want to talk about is Oboro Dono, played by Laura Bailey. I frickin' love Oboro Dono. She is one of my most favorite characters of all time. She had a very good storyline. I love her personality and attitude. She's so kind, so sweet, so lovable, very honest, and her heart is pretty darn pure, and she's innocent as well. But sadly, later on in her storyline, this is one of the characters I do feel sorry for. And she does wish that both of the Kougas and the Igas should never get involved with their stupid war. And all she ever wanted is peace and harmony. Yeah, I think it's time for you people to understand how this young girl feels. And most of all, I will never forgive that monster Tenzin for what he had done to her. In episode 14, the part where Tenzin is about to rape Oboro and he's trying to take away her virginity, and it looks like he tried to torture her to death. If you know what I mean. I do feel so sorry for this character, and I do know her pain and sorrow very darn much. And most of all, if she doesn't want to fight Inosuke-sama, if they ever face each other to the death, then please don't let her. Just let her make her own choices, and she'll know what she will do, what is right. If you guys get the picture. So yeah, Oboro Dono, she's a good character, and one of the characters I do feel sorry for. She'll always have a special place in my heart. Always. And now let's go on to the Kougas. 2 good Kougas. Just 2. The first character I want to talk about for the Kougas is Hyoma, played by that John dude. And yes, he is the dude who played Yoshita from Peacemaker, the main villain of the anime. This is, well, out of all the Kougas, I do have mixed feelings with some of the Kougas here or there, but I will say that he and Genosuke-sama were truly the best ones in my opinion. But let's head back to Hyoma. I freaking love this character. He's one of the most coolest characters I have ever seen in my whole entire life. I mean, this guy had a really good storyline. He has a really cool personality and attitude. He is such a headstrong, serious character all the way through from start to finish. And I freaking love his character design. He is one of the most gorgeous looking characters I have ever seen in my whole entire life. I like his face, his hair, his clothes, and it's a sad darn shame that he's so darn blind. But also, he has some really cool dialogues that he wants to say in Basilisk for a couple of episodes here and there. And I do like the character development and chemistry that he had with Genosuke-sama. They are more like father and son more than uncle and nephew, if you know what I mean. And I really love their flashback story. Episode 18 was one of my most favorite episodes of all time because I like the flashback story. How did Genosuke and Hyoma have that character development and chemistry and started caring about each other before Hyoma died? You know, staying on his 2 feet. Yeah, God bless that man. He's such a cool character. And one of the best beloved characters that we should all remember in anime history. And finally, the last and final character I want to talk about in this anime is Genosuke-sama, played by Troy Baker. I freaking love Genosuke-sama. He will always be one of my most favorite anime characters of all time. My favorite male character ever in anime history. I mean, I love his storyline. I love his personality and attitude. I love his good looks and charms. He is so darn good looking. He's so darn charming. He's very handsome. He does have very lovely golden eyes. And I will say his duck jitsu technique was okay. It's way too bloody and dangerous in my own opinion, since he did mind control a couple bad guys here and there if somebody attacked him for some unknown reason. And also, Genosuke-sama is one of the most sexiest characters that you'll ever see in your whole entire life. I mean, this character is so darn sexy. I mean, oh, I wish there was a sex scene between him and Oboro Dono if they ever want to do it. Maybe that way Basilisk would have done better. Maybe way more interesting than before. And I wish there was a kiss scene between him and Oboro Dono so they could have their moment together. And yes, I also fell in love with the character development and chemistry between him and Oboro Dono because they are the most sweetest and the most adoring love couple I have ever seen in anime history, and I wish there was a bit more screen time between those two if this Kouga and Iga Warcraft hadn't messed up their relationship, if you know what I mean. So yeah, I have nothing else to say. Genosuke-sama is really good character overall. And before I can tell you about my final thoughts of my favorite anime of all time, I will let you know that it is true that rumor has it that there is going to be a Basilisk sequel, and it's going to take place 9 years later after the events of the original Basilisk story. And I did remember on episode 7 where Genosuke-sama had talked to Kashiro about something that he does have a couple of siblings back at home in Manjadani. So I think my main guess for this sequel is there's a couple of siblings that we did not know from the Kouga and the Iga 10. You know, the ones that are not in the Ninja Scroll. So I think that means, I think we're going to get to know a couple of siblings here or there from the Kouga and the Iga. Some of the people we have never got to know of. So that was a little hint of the reason why we need a Basilisk sequel. And thanks to episode 7, it did explain that there are some other people out there from the Kougas and the Igas that we haven't met yet in the original story. So, I will tell you right now, ladies and dudes, I will check out this sequel of Basilisk whenever the time will come. If you know what I mean. And now, ladies and dudes, here's my final thoughts of Basilisk. Overall, Basilisk will always be one of the most greatest anime shows of all time. And yes, it's pretty darn underrated as well. It had a really good storyline. I have mixed feelings with the characters. It has great animation, great character designs, a really good score, and this is one of the best animes out there that has a very good English dub. So please check out this anime before we could see its sequel. So for my rating for this anime, I decided to give Basilisk a 9.5 out of 10. This is one good anime to check out. And it's still a very good anime, even to this day. So anyway, that's my whole entire anime review of Basilisk. I hope you enjoyed this anime review, and join me next time for my next anime review to come. I promise to all of you, I have to go back and do my Megazone 2-3 Part 2. And I'm not sure when will that one will come out, but I will tell you that very, very soon in the later on future. So, that is it for now, and I'll see you all later. Sayonara.